undisputed.
This is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, we are live in Los Angeles on iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. It is an absolute pleasure to have you in today. Nick Wright, Peter King, Casey Hayward of the Chargers, Rob Parker, and of course, Joy Taylor is joining me today. Joy, how are you?
I'm great. Good morning.
Good morning. I love this time of the year. We got coaching moves, craziness. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Okay. So this happens a lot in society. Everybody chases the exception instead of the rule. What do you mean, Colin? 7 of the 8 remaining coaches in the playoffs are 50 or older. And everybody's hiring young guys. It's incredible. By the way, Tampa Bay is sort of the Cleveland Browns of the NFC. It's a graveyard for coaches. 7 of the last 8 years in 4th place. Haven't won a playoff game in 10 years. Haven't been to the playoffs in 10 years. But they actually hired a grown-up yesterday, Bruce Arians. Carson Palmer's best years with Bruce Arians. Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Big Ben, worked with all of them, got the Super Bowls. Bruce Arians, a grown-up. He's a six-year-old man. Been a coordinator multiple times. Head coach now a second time. By the way, the last time the Browns made the playoffs, Bruce Arians was the coordinator. But Cleveland's not interested in him. No. Either's Arizona. Either's Green Bay. No, he's old. So let's look now that Tampa Bay made the best hire so far. Let's actually look at the remaining 3 teams and what they're doing. Oh, it looks like this morning Cleveland's going to hire Freddie Kitchens. I don't believe, has been a high school coach. Never been a high school head coach. He's never been hired as a coordinator. He's in his 40s. No. He was given the interim job for 8 games this year. Never actually been hired by a team in the NFL to be a coordinator. He is now going to be an NFL head coach. Good luck in your own division facing Mike Tomlin twice a year, John Harbaugh twice a year. Good luck when you face Andy Reid, Frank Reich, who was actually a quarterback and a hell of a coordinator and a great coach. Congratulations, getting the young guy with no experience. By the way, let's look at Arizona. Arizona hired Cliff Kingsbury. By the way, everybody thinks he's the next Sean McVay. Does everybody realize their offenses don't even look alike? Cliff Kingsbury, just a heads up here, against Big 12 teams with winning records, he was 4-31. Now, it's not a misprint. If you take away games against Kansas, the worst program in college football, and you take away FCS schools, he was 16-40 at Texas Tech. Let's give him an NFL job. Good hell. How about Matt LaFleur? Matt LaFleur, been a coordinator for 1 year, and Tennessee's offense got worse. This is from a coach who worked with Matt LaFleur. I got this information last night. This is from a coach who worked with Matt LaFleur. He's smart, very strategic, doesn't have great leadership skills. Excuse me? Doesn't have great leadership skills. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay, Packers, iconic brand. Okay, I'm done. Cliff Kingsbury got fired by his alma mater. LaFleur had a job for 1 year as a coordinator, not known as a leader. Sort of important. And Cleveland's going to hire a guy who no team in the NFL ever gave an offensive coordinator job to, hiring him. He got inserted as an interim. Tampa Bay went and hired a grown blank man. A man who's been to Super Bowls. A man who has coached Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning and Big Ben and gave Carson Palmer his best coaching. You're all you Clevelands and all you Arizonas and all you Green Bays, you're chasing the exceptions, Sean McVay. He's the exception. The rule is 7 of the 8 coaches who remain in the NFL this weekend are 50 or older. By the way, I thought everybody wanted to coach Baker Mayfield. Where's the list of all the candidates? They didn't. Kingsbury wouldn't give him an interview. Mike McCarthy, not interested. Bruce Arians, I want that job, really. No. Freddie Kitchens. By the way, he does look a little bit like Mike McCarthy. I'll say that. You couldn't hire Mike McCarthy. You hired a guy that kind of looks like him, so there's that. Okay. All right, let me shift to this. We have a great show today. I'm not going to do much NBA, but this needs to be noted. This was significant. Congratulations to Ryan Saunders. I work with his father, the late, great Flip Saunders. Wonderful man. I worked with him at the other place. He passed away. He was a pleasure to work with and just a sweetheart of a man. His son is Ryan Saunders. He won his first game last night. He's the coach now of the Minnesota Timberwolves, which is really cool. He's a young man, and he won his first game. And so let's just I don't know, randomly show you the last play of that game against Oklahoma City. They beat OKC. Let's watch it.
Westbrook down low, now in the corner, off the dribble to three, offensive rebound Adams. Westbrook with four, off the dribble three, no good to follow. George cutting midair, no good. And multiple chances for the Thunder that time. Westbrook with 2 looks.
Just could not get a ball to fall for him. Unfortunate for the Thunder.
Excuse me. That was Russell Westbrook. Excuse me? So that was an air ball. For our radio listeners who didn't hear the ball hit the rim, it didn't. That second three was an air ball, and he was open. This is why Kevin Durant left OKC. 175 NBA players have shot 93s this year. Westbrook is 175th. Since December 1st, James Harden is the leading scorer in the NBA, and Paul George is second. Paul George last night had hit 5 threes. Paul George is an elite three-point shooter, and he was reduced to catching Russell Westbrook's air ball. Why is Russell Westbrook still shooting threes? Why is he still shooting 5 a game? He's shooting 23% on the year. And by the way, his 5 per game are the most of his career. Paul George is a better shooter. Nobody would deny that. He's not getting any looks at the end of games because the Oklahoma City Thunder have enabled and are terrified to say, Russell, stop shooting those. This is why Kevin Durant said, I'm out. This is why they had to move James Harden. You can't play with him. Paul George is an elite catch-and-shoot player, one of the best in the league. He's 6'8". Generally 6'8" guys get a good look at the end of games. They're long. He's a great shooter. He was hot. He almost always is since December 1st. Second in the NBA after James Harden, who's also red hot. You would not avoid Russell. If James Harden played, wouldn't you give him the last shot on this team? Why wouldn't you give Paul George? This is what Oklahoma City has done. At one point, think about this. Oklahoma City had James Harden, Westbrook, and Kevin Durant. And their management chose not the MVP Harden, not the second best player in the league, Russell Westbrook. And as the game has evolved into a shooter's league, Oklahoma City is now officially the worst three-point shooting team in the league. And symptomatic of that is last night. Russell Westbrook, they designed plays for Russell Westbrook. And Paul George was reduced to catching his air ball. 10 years in the league, an air ball on an open three. You want to know why KD left? You want to know why there's that video out of KD laughing a couple years ago at Russell Westbrook jacking up threes? This is it. When you are a fear-based organization, and Oklahoma City is petrified that Harden and Kevin Durant now gone, they can't tick off Russell Westbrook, this is what you get. I'm not a hater for pointing out something that is true. 175 NBA players have shot 93s or more this year. He's 175th. And yet the organization, knowing that, designed the final 2 shots last night because they wanted him to be a hero. They did. They wanted him to be the star. This is why I said, Paul George,